Welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. Well, chaos on the Las Vegas Strip this afternoon as we have been continuing to follow all of this. Reports of a stabbing came in. We now know that about 8 people in total were stabbed, and 2 of those have lost their life because of that stabbing. This is Andrew Kraft here. We are going to be joined on the phone right now by Las Vegas Review-Journal reporter Sabrina Schnur. Sabrina, do you have us? Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So let's walk our viewers back to when you first got the reports of this and what exactly happened. We have live pictures on Las Vegas Boulevard right now. Unfortunately, you can see our reporter is in the frame there. But this was right by the Wynn. For those who have been to Vegas, it's a very popular area with tourists and locals alike. Tell us what happened.
So what we know right now, and obviously Metro is still investigating, our local police department, what we know right now is that a man in his early 30s was on the pedestrian bridge and basically did what Metro was calling a series of stabbings. Witnesses have told us that 2 showgirls were stabbed, and then the man just started running and stabbing kind of anyone in sight. What we have confirmed already is 2 people are dead, 6 others are injured. Several people are in critical condition, so the death toll could get higher, unfortunately. But what we do know is that the man started running down Las Vegas Boulevard towards Sands Avenue, which is kind of the Palazzo Wynn barrier right there on that street. And he was detained by Sands security guards, followed by Metropolitan Police Department. So he is in custody. He was also transported to the hospital, but should be released in book soon.
So do we know anything about that individual? We're learning from some preliminary reports that he could be a local, possibly from Henderson, which for those who don't know is...
We've actually heard the exact opposite.
Oh, is that right?
We've heard from our local police department that he was not a resident of Las Vegas in any way. He was a tourist, and he had been in the valley for a very short amount of time, which we suspect is the police department's way of saying that he was visiting. So he was a tourist, is what we have on record.
Oh, I see. My apologies there. Yeah, we want to just put up some of these tweets here as we continue to speak with you. This is from Fox 5 in Las Vegas, that they say, according to La Rochelle, the suspect is a Hispanic male in his early 30s. He does not appear to be a local resident, like you were saying, Sabrina. Appears to be in the community recently. La Rochelle says the suspect identified himself verbally to police. They're continuing to investigate. Are you on the scene, Sabrina?
I am not. I just got back. One of our reporters, Brett Clarkson, took over for me on the scene, and then our reporter, David Wilson from the Review-Journal, was at the press conference, so I've been in the newsroom frantically calling every hospital and every person I can to kind of garner whatever we can as this breaks through the night and see how those showgirls are doing. We have some very dramatic video from the scene of women in beautiful red showgirl dresses that are very classically known on the pedestrian bridges being transported away in stretchers, which is certainly not how they saw their day going.
Wow. And, you know, I just have to mention, because this is coming days after the 5-year anniversary of the 1 October shooting at the Country Music Festival concert, the Route 91 Festival. So Vegas, no doubt, is on edge yet again. Have you spoken to witnesses at all? What have they seen?
Yeah, so we talked to a man on scene, and one of my coworkers actually just finished an interview on the scene, Brett Clarkson, so we'll be updating our story pretty soon. But we have heard specifically regarding the showgirls, basically it sounds like one showgirl fell into the arms of another while they were just being attacked, and they're sitting on the bridge crying. There's blood everywhere, and we're not sure who was the target of this attack, if anyone, because we've been told that there was no altercation that led to this. But there was just this very dramatic scene of just blood across the pedestrian bridge, and girls who were out there working and women who were out there working becoming the victims of an attack, as well as several other people. And what Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo has said so far is that the victims were both locals and tourists. So we have talked to a man from Montreal. We have talked to a man who police just finished talking to and getting statements from, and then he talked to us as well. And he was able to confirm kind of very similar things, that the showgirls were just crying, trying to save each other, and then this man just ran away and continued to chase after more people after them.
Yeah, and we're looking live, or we were at the Strip itself, and it does look like traffic is back up and going. Do we know if the road closures are still in place? Do we know also if law enforcement are going to brief reporters again?
They are not anticipated to brief reporters again today. We expect more information in the coming days, potentially through a press briefing, potentially through a statement. As far as roads, Spring Mountain should be back open. Sands Avenue should be just starting to open. We know that they're keeping some of the pedestrian traffic right outside the Wynn closed. We suspect that's where one of the fatalities or one of the larger scenes may have come. We know that one person died at University Medical Center, and we don't know where the other one has died. So we suspect there's some sort of horrible scene right outside of Wynn, so they're keeping that area still closed off. Last we saw was the Clark County Coroner's Office had just arrived at that little corner right there.
Oh, wow. That is really quite something. I myself have reported and lived in Vegas for 2 years, and I know the community, this is really something that's going to be hard to take. You're local as well. You know, when you get news of this sort, especially that happens on, you know, I know it's kind of local for you, but it's a worldwide destination, the Las Vegas Strip. It really is hard to fathom that something like that could happen on such a, you know, public prime destination.
Absolutely, but what I think is really amazing, and you know, aside from the fact that our police department got him in custody in a matter of minutes, because the Metropolitan Police Department does have officers on every single pedestrian bridge on the Strip 24 hours a day. So you have to think there were cops who saw this from the moment it broke and are just, I imagine, chasing this man or whatever. But Metro also said that it was concerned citizens who chased this man down until he got to Sands, and then security guards detained him. So it's nice to know that if something horrendous like this happens on the Strip, you know, witnesses have told us that a stranger just started performing CPR on one of the showgirls. So it's nice to know that when things like this happen in our community, even people who might not be from here just immediately started rendering aid and tracking down the perpetrators. And that's kind of a nice warm-hearted feeling to know that no matter where you are in Las Vegas, people will take care of you.
Yeah. Sabrina Schnur, thank you so much for offering your reporting, so detailed. Hopefully we will be speaking again if we get any more updates as well, but we appreciate your time on Live Now.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Okay, right now we do want you to listen into some of these witness statements that Fox 5 Las Vegas has gotten. They've been interviewing people all along the Las Vegas Strip today. We want to play some of that sound for you right now.
But then we realized she had been stabbed. Very, very upsetting. And then we saw another gentleman who also had been stabbed. There were lots of blood. And it was just shock for everyone, I think.
I have to ask, what were you thinking when this all of a sudden you see this?
No, when we realized this was not someone who was screaming out of joy, you know, she was in distress and horrendous pain. And lots of people then realized what was going on. But very alarmingly, it took so long for any police or medical services or anyone from the Wynn Hotel to come out and actually help. I think it was at least 10 minutes. Very, very slow response.
And what were these people? Explain what the gentleman with the shirt off who was stabbed, what was he doing?
Well, he I think took off his shirt and he was screaming for help because he'd been stabbed in the chest, as I understand. And then eventually, I guess, he was so exhausted, so he sat down on the street and he started shaking. And he was losing a lot of blood. So God bless all these people today.
And how about how about the lady? What was she doing then?
Well, she was screaming really, really loudly. And I think she was with some friends. And we realized she was hurt as well.
She collapsed on the floor, though.
Oh, go ahead.
She collapsed on the floor.
The
lady across. That gentleman who was stabbed, he was wearing a t-shirt first, and then he was walking up and down saying, I've been stabbed, I've been stabbed. And in the end, he took his shirt off and put it around here on his chest, and he just sat at the bottom of the escalator, and that's when he collapsed. And it took 10 minutes for police or ambulance to come over to help. And across the, I think it was the Venetian, isn't it, where the bridge across, there was another person there as well that was stabbed.
And what did you see there?
All I can see is there was a lady trying to help her, and then in the end she went on the floor. And That's all we can see. And then, yeah, it just took at least 10 minutes.
It felt like 10 minutes, but
Felt like a long
Yeah,
time.
a very long time.
So what were people doing? Were they confused? Were they helping? What was the scene like?
Well, when that gentleman was screaming, saying, "I've been stabbed," it seems like it was only one guy who was full of tattoo. He was riding his bicycle, and this gentleman saying that where the stabber was, and said he was walking across that road, like he was pointing somewhere, and then that guy who was on the bicycle was riding his bike towards that way.
Was he trying to go keep track of the stabber?
The stabber, yeah, exactly.
And what did he catch up to him? Do you know? Could you see?
No, we lost sight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost sight that guy on the bike.
We were standing on the bridge there behind you.
And so this is your first time to Las Vegas. I would like to know what you think about being here and what you saw.
Feel really scared, and I was shocked to see that. I was shocked, and Las Vegas is very famous, and this is the first time, as you know, and this is the first time that we walked across the whole strip, and we saw that. It's just sad.
Was how close were you? I mean, was there anything that you guys could have done to help these guys at all, or?
Well, in hindsight, I guess we could have run downstairs, but we were, I guess, rather scared and afraid
We
that,
were shocked.
yeah, if he was still at large and if he was still downstairs trying to hurt people.
Yeah.
So I think people around us also said, let's stay up here, stay back.
So just a lot of confusion, it sounds
Yeah.
like. I mean, did people really know what was going on? I mean,
No one knows. No one knows. And also, there wasn't any staff from the Wynn Hotel to help. And this guy, if you just saw it, he was walking across trying to get help, and we're already on the bridge. It was very sad.
well, you know, in all, 8 people were stabbed and 2 lost their lives today.
8 people. Wow, 8.
We
saw 3.
we saw 3, and our prayers, our hearts and blessings go to those who lost their lives and their families today, and we pray for them today. Very upsetting. But we've been here since Tuesday.
Okay.
It's a beautiful city. It's full of life. We see people from all over America, from other countries are here. Everyone is enjoying themselves. It's a lovely buzz. It's clean. People are very, very friendly. We have a beautiful city here, but as you know, these things happen in all cities. But to see it so closely is, of course, very, very upsetting.
It can happen anywhere. That's
Yes.
true. Okay, I'm going to run.
Okay, so you saw there those tourists who witnessed it all offering their testimony to that reporter there on the scene. We're going to stay on top of this story. If we learn any more details about the suspect who has been taken into custody, we'll bring those to you here. We just spoke with a Las Vegas Review-Journal. That's the newspaper in Las Vegas, one of their reporters who provided just extremely detailed reporting, and hopefully we'll be speaking to her again